Salah has now passed his best. Personally, if we could get 40, 50 million for him, I'll be happy to let him go.
Jamie says that Trent Alexander-Arnold is a League One defender. I don't agree with that.
And a Champions League attacker. Come on, now I'm not saying he's a League One player.
Oh, he doesn't really take, just by saying he's a Champions League attacker, doesn't really take away from the insult. He's a League One defender.
It's not an insult. I mean, some good players in League One, but I'm saying is the way he defends and how he defends is not Premier League standard. It is unacceptable.
Come on.
He's costing his team so many goals, and he gets away with it because he's so good going forward.
Do you know something, Jamie? I'm watching that game yesterday, right? And I'm saying to myself, for Saka's tap into back post where Martinelli does brilliant. I'm trying to put myself in his shoes. I'm saying, where's he going, right? Now, see if he makes that run to the outside, right? He has to be screaming to the other defender to force him down there, because if he gets back there, the party's over. So I'm saying to myself, is he screaming at him, show him outside, I've got him covered outside? Because as soon as he commits himself there, he's got 100% out the game. Martinelli's very, very clever. He had a brilliant game yesterday, back on his right foot, back post goal. So
but isn't defending though, Ali, one of the biggest things that you learn growing up defending is about communication with your back four and the players around you.
100%.
And I feel like there's no communication with Liverpool. And the way Trent defends, I don't feel like he's communicating with the players around him. He just will go and do what he thinks he can do, and he ends up just messing it up. I mean, that for me, you're absolutely right. When he can see the situation. He's behind the player. Who's the player in front of him who's actually defending Martinelli? I'm not sure who it is, but he's behind him, so he can see exactly where Martinelli's going. He can see where his defender is in front of him, and he decides to kind of just run past him without thinking, where is the danger?
Puts himself out the game.
Yeah, he puts himself out, and the danger is Martinelli cutting back in on his right foot to either whip one in the top corner or put a cross in. Now, as a football player, you know their brains think so quickly. He will know that's the danger. So why are you making a run where you're putting yourself completely out of the game? Communication skills, I think, with Liverpool at the back is a massive problem.
Lee is a Liverpool fan. He's called this number 03717 22 3344. Lee would like to have his say on Trent. Hi, Lee.
Morning, Lee.
Good morning, guys. How are we all doing?
We're doing very well. Thanks very much, Lee. What did you think of the overall performance, and particularly Trent's performance?
There's been too many mistakes, and as a result, there's too many goals. I think what's happened is it's 4 years of fatigue, and it's 4 years of Virgil van Dijk being an absolute galactic defender, and things have just gone a little bit awry at the back. If I was Klopp, and I think Klopp is untouchable, but he needs to do something about his defending. For once, I actually agree with Chunks on the fact that he's absolutely right. Van Dijk's slightly off the pace for whatever reason, and as a result, things are weak at the back and the lack of communication. But I genuinely think that you can't push a team that's had little or no change in 4 years and expect them to continually go and go and go and go. And they're going to have to change the fact that there's such a weakness there now that they can't bomb forward. It used to be, if you score 2, we'll score 4. If you score 3, we'll score 5. It's not like that anymore, because those gaps are appearing and people know how to play against it. So it's a transitional period. For me, I didn't think Liverpool this year would be in the races. And I hate to admit that I'm right, because I was waiting for this drop-off to happen.
Lee, what do you think's happened to Salah? I've got to ask the question, because he just doesn't seem... We can always sit here and say, Mane go in, they've lost that kind of partnership, which I think is true. But
the one thing I would say before I answer the question, Lee, I thought tactically it was a brilliant move from Arteta, putting the more defensive Tomiyasu in that position.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Look, we for whatever reason, Salah is, I don't know whether it's Darwin Núñez who's come in. For me, I think Darwin Núñez might turn out to be the Timo Werner of our sort of big purchase. I hope I'm wrong, but I think we completely and utterly underestimated the impact of getting rid of Sane.
Yeah.
And why we agreed
Mane.
to Mane, apologies. To Mane, as opposed to why we agreed to pay so much for Salah which we totally should have done. Why didn't we do it for Mane? I just think we can't underestimate, obviously, what he did behind the scenes, what he did as a teamwork. He's talking on the pitch, he's graft. I just think, it's been and gone. We've got to get over it. But for me, why we need Jude Bellingham for me. And I think bringing that pace, bringing that energy, bringing that youth into the team, someone who's not afraid, because we're looking a little bit afraid. And that isn't the Liverpool of the last 4 seasons, 5 seasons.
Thank you for your call, Lee.
Good call, Lee. Thank you.
Paul's also a Liverpool fan. Good morning, Paul.
Morning,
Would you
Paul.
like to say?
Morning, guys.
The floor is yours, Paul. We're good, thank you.
Thank you very much. Angry from Northampton once again.
Proper Liverpool fan.
I was a bit of a saddo this morning. I've done some stat checks. So from the start of the calendar year, Mohamed Salah in open play has scored 9 goals in 43 games. If you want to compare that to Sadio Mane, he scored 14 goals in 32 games for Liverpool. So there's the difference. Salah completely off the pace. The right-hand side, we are completely open. There's no defending. There's nobody covering Trent. Much as we're all criticising his defending, he's got no cover. We used to have somebody, if he bombed forward, then Henderson would go back and cover, or Fabinho would cover. Playing the 4-2-3-1 gives us no one to cover from midfield because they're just too busy and trying to get the ball back.
Paul, there's cover, and then there's just being a good defender. Do you know? I understand.
Don't get me wrong.
I understand. Sometimes he's going to get exposed because he plays high up the pitch, which is fair enough. I mean, Klopp said that. There will be times when he needs cover, but come on, he's one-on-one defending. And that goal yesterday for Martin is awful.
Yeah,
you can't just keep saying, he's got no cover.
Exactly.
Well, be a good defender then.
Yeah, the first goal, he was too close to Matip, and you could see from a million miles away that ball between the two of them for Martinelli to get in. And then the second goal, I don't know what he's doing for the second goal. He's supposed to be covering the man in the centre. Henderson's forcing Jesus down the line, who then cuts the ball across. And it's just like, why are you running past him? What are you doing? Even I can see that, and I'm not a footballer. I'm a fat 50-year-old, for Christ's sake, and I could have defended that better.
Yeah, don't put yourself down. You do more research than Jamie O'Hara does.
Well done. I'm played.
But I've just got to go back to Lee's comment about Jude Bellingham. Now, I originally rang you guys a few weeks ago after the Man United game, saying that Jude Bellingham would be better off spending the money elsewhere. We're not going to be in the Champions League next season. So why is Jude Bellingham going to come to us?
If you could open the checkbook in January, who do you think you need? Who would you? What
Jude
positions?
Bellingham.
Other than that,
I would rather spend the money on another right winger, because I think Salah has now passed his best. Personally, if we could get 40, 50 million for him, I'd be happy to let him go.
wow, really?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, honestly, he's just completely lost. He's completely off the ball since the start of the year. He's put his feet up. He's got his new contract.
No, I disagree.
We've seen it before. No,
It's not in him, Paul. He's not like that. He's not a Bamiyang. He's not that player, Paul.
We've seen it before. We saw it at Arsenal. We've seen it at Man United. We've seen it with many players. I don't care what anyone said. No, I disagree with you, Jamie. Unless I can see... Yesterday, he went past Tomiyasu. That's the first time I've seen him one-on-one take a fullback out. That's the first time this season.
Watching Salah, he's lost that sort of that partnership, that edge that Liverpool had with Mane, with even Origi. When Origi, they had little 1-2s around the box. Firmino, he's got it a little bit. But for me, you take Son out of Tottenham's team, Harry Kane gets worse. You take top players out of sides, other players around them will have off games because they're so used to building up a partnership. Mane and Salah built up a partnership, even though it was on separate wings. They built up a partnership together, which was absolutely electric. They knew where each other were on the pitch. Mane were putting him in one touch, Salah would put Mane in one touch, and they bounced off each other. You took that out of the team, so you're going to get a worse Salah. I don't think it's because Salah's now got a cigar out because he's got a big contract. That is not in his makeup at all. I just think you got to realise the big mistake was Mane.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.